I had a red tail. I had a red tail as a kid.
Oh, that's dope.
Honestly, bro, it was kinda long, not gonna lie. It was like, my mom used to cut it off because my dad wanted me to grow it. And so, like, I used to get a fade every week when I was a kid, and so my mom would just always have the barber just let it only be, like, an inch long, but, like, my dad didn't think about it, he just like, "Oh, his hair's not growing," but no, it's because my mom didn't like that shit. But let's introduce the podcast. So, today we got for the episode, 15 of the podcast, we have Perry. He's back.
Oh,
He's back. He's back briefly though, cause he's in a car.
yeah, I'm in a car. Yeah, I mean, it happened a few times. Okay, right. Well, I don't feel like all insecure about my choice. Yeah.
Josh was first. Josh.
Yeah. Well, I'm posted up because I mean I have my family inside, so and then plus my apartment's like pretty far from here, and I didn't want to have to like drive all the way over there. So, but no, we're good. We're good. We can as long as you guys can hear me.
Yeah, you sound good.
All
Pretty
right, good.
clear. So the last time we hung out like a year ago when we were doing it in person. We did one episode, one sit down. It went into like a 3-hour conversation. We got a lot from you. We split the yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, we're dedicated.
Dude, it's so crazy. I was actually talking to Ray about it or I think yeah, yesterday, and he was like, yeah, like, you've been like the one person that's kind of been repetitive more than anybody else, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm honored. Like, it's not, something that always comes to me, so it feels great whenever you guys, especially when you guys hit me up, because you guys saw me from the start before like anything happened. Like before I was even like noticed, or even before I did my first gallery, it was just like a bunch of stuff happening. So
How old were you? Like 18 maybe
I
when
I
we
had to
met?
been like 17 or 16 at that time because when I turned 18 before I left to go visit New York, and so yeah, I was definitely young. But now I'm 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I thought it was too. But God just didn't make it happen, bro. Just like the whole thing with last year, a lot of things that I wanted to do last year didn't happen, but I made a lot of other stuff happen that was, a lot brighter than what I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
just
Last year, just to recap, just in case no one listened to that other one, um, you should go play them back, by the way. There's 2 of them. But you mentioned that you were about to do a few shows in a couple different cities. You wanted a couple galleries, but that was right before the pandemic and everyone had to stay at home. So, uh, what did you do? What did you do during that time? Like,
so that year started off, and I just got a job at Starbucks, and then I didn't have a car at the time, so I was riding my bike all the way to work. It was like 2 miles away or 3 miles away. So I was like riding it every morning to go to work, and pretty soon I got my car, and um, then like some stuff happened with the home situation, so I got kicked out, and then I was sleeping on the floor of my buddy's house for like the majority of the year. Like it had to been like from like April, yeah, all the way from April to August, because that's when I moved into my apartment. So I was sleeping on the floor all the way through then. And but during that time, which was like prime COVID time, like I got 2 videos done. Did a mural at the Greater Good, but obviously nobody was able to see it physically because we just did it just for the video because it was Jesse's shop, so he wanted to paint over it so it can maintain a business. So we did it just for the video, especially to practice my skills. That was my first mural ever, that big. And then we did a second one. I think the next week we did that one. It was at the my buddy's house, my buddy's sister that I was living at their house. So his sister, she runs like a cannabis industry, so she had a warehouse. So they hired me to do a painting in her warehouse. So that was the second mural. I forgot what the name was. I just know that they weren't like a big company. They were just one like the farm. So they were just the farm, and then they would sell to the actual uh cannabis industries. Like those other ones actually had storefronts and stuff like that. So they were just like the wholesalers. Um, no, I don't know, bro. It was like, but so I did that
So
there.
you did a mural there, like in the grow?
Yeah, I did it in like the warehouse. Like it was like
That's
on
sick.
second. It was on mural two. It was on mural two the video, and then so we knocked that. I knocked that out, and then I think like 2 months later, I started because during that time I was also saving up. I had this plan to start saving up to go to LA, to move to LA actually, and I had like almost like 4 grand like ready to go, whatever, and that still wasn't enough. But I was like wanting to go, but COVID happened, so it was just like I was trying to make something happen regardless of the whole COVID situation. But the thing is, my buddy was telling me, he's like, yo, like not even Starbucks is like even that busy. People are only going to just get pickups, and that's it. You can't even go to the drive-through. It was just nobody was even open at the time, so there was nobody. There was not a lot of work, and so I just like took that. I was like, oh damn, well I'll just wait like 2 more weeks, whatever. Nothing happened, and then so finally my dad sat me down, and he goes on to tell me like yo, like you haven't left yet. I don't think you're gonna leave because of this whole COVID thing's happening. So I really do think that you should get yourself a car and get yourself an apartment because I sold the car that I got back, and then I sold it since I was living on the floor of my buddy's house, and I was just like, using my nana's car to go to work during that time. And so when I finally after I sat down with my dad, I got the car. 2 months after, I got myself an apartment, and then um, that's just how that happened. I used all my money towards that, and I think along during that same time, like I introduced all the sweatshirts and all the hats, and I think I had like one more item like that I had like on the website. I released the website, and I had all the videos on there, and then also the virtual gallery one with my nana, and had all those different paintings there, and trying to show my different skills of different type of art styles that my art can go with during the whole paint situation because I love cartoons, I love the characters and stuff like that, but with the paintings is where I can have fun and where I can challenge myself to be taken serious. So I did a lot with that, and then also moving into my first place was crazy, and it was just a lot of adjustment last year, a lot of losing a lot of security, and then creating new security with my life. So there's a lot that happened. So I feel like that kind of summed up like most of that year. So that was it for sure.
So you
To pivot, I was trying to I was trying to I was trying to stay consistent, man. When I started working at Starbucks, I met Jose, the owner of Noche Americana, and I remember he introduced himself to me, and I didn't really think much of it. I just thought he was like, oh, like like he just did a video company because he was leaving. He was like, oh, like I'm leaving, like I'm not working here anymore, and I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't think that much of it. So I was like, oh, well, he's leaving, so that's it. Like that's all the communication we're gonna have. But then then he came back because COVID was getting even more serious, so he had to come back because all the jobs that he was like already had coming towards him for his business, they all like canceled because they were or like put it on hold because of the whole COVID situation. So Next thing you know, he comes back, and then that's when me and him become friends and just boys and homies, and we just, started brainstorming, and we was like, yo, let's knock all this stuff out. When he told me yes to a lot of things, like, oh, like let's do this video, do that video, I would make things happen, such as like landing the first mural, landing the second mural, and then making up. Me and him had to sit down, and me and him created the whole concept of the virtual gallery one because I wanted to do a gallery, but there was no way of doing it. So I told him, I was like, yo, a lot of artists are doing these virtual galleries, but they all look like kind of like the Google Maps type thing where you just like go and you're not even, there's no video, there's no movement, it's just like images and you're just like slowly seeing them. So I was like, let's just do an actual video and let's do the Mr. Rogers way and kind of like have like my Nana being the old woman as Mr. Rogers is the old man, presenting something and talking to everybody directly, and also embracing my my Mexican roots and using her Spanish language to tell everybody, and using the subtitles to be more diverse for everybody so they can understand. And I wanted to make you feel like a little kid because the only person that can do that is usually your grandparents. They make you feel younger because they know you don't know everything, so they're gonna have tell you a story, and that's what I wanted her to do with those paintings, is tell a story and say what she felt the paintings were. I didn't tell her anything to say. She just made everything up on the spot, which is perfect. But we had like a couple runs. We did like 20 runs. Like that, it wasn't a perfect like line, so we had to run that back like at least 20 times. So
Damn. And where
yeah.
can you find that?
Well, I had it on my website, but right now I'm on this like next wave. So I'm like kind of like, all right, well that was all my old stuff. I don't want to kind of keep on like highlighting that. So I mean, you can look it up on YouTube. You just type in permanent, and all of them will come up. Or you can even go on Noche Americana's website. They have everything. That boy is killing it with all his new videos. He's actually working on some new stuff right now. And I was just there the other day with Ray was there, Joshua Castanello, and I think like one more person, but that was it. So he's working on more, which is great. He's staying consistent. But that's what happened. I, dabbled in the whole like film industry in a way of like learning behind the scenes. So it was just crazy to see it firsthand of how all that went.
Yeah, he mentioned he shoots in log. I don't even know what that looks like. The fuck is that? I should
Shoots
have
and
asked him
what?
when he was here. He shoots in log. Like he mentioned, like like instead of like shooting in raw,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be easier to help him color correct, but I don't know
Oh
what that
yeah.
looks like.
Well, the camera he has, he sets it to a certain. I think that's what he means by it. Is like a certain type of like
Setting or what?
picture or setting or whatever. Like just so like the video looks very like cinematic, I guess. Because I've seen firsthand of like what he does. Um, he's good, man. Like he knows exactly what he's doing. So yesterday I saw him firsthand like trying something new because I didn't see him do that when me and him would shoot videos. So it seems like he has more of a game plan now, and which is great. Because at first we were just like, yo, let's run it, let's like do it, because it was just him. Like his crew was all busy and they were all like cautious about COVID. So now he has this whole crew, and now they're actually helping him, which is great. And he's not doing it by himself anymore, and I think that's a blessing for him. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, it is a lot of work for anybody. Like think about it. You guys, luckily, you guys have each other and stuff like that. On like breaking down everything. And I'm sure there's more people behind this whole podcast that help everything look professional. But yeah, man, the team is always needed.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's all Tannen. But we appreciate it. No, yeah, there's lots of moving pieces to everything. So I'm sure you know that I feel like you do a lot of the stuff by yourself, right? Unless you're
Unless
working
I
with
need help.
videographer.
Yeah. If I need help with something, I always find somebody. If I don't have anybody in my life, I always try to find somebody that can help me. Or I'll even like ask my friend to contact somebody else that they know, and I'll like I have to, usually whenever I start working with them personally, I'll have to get to know who they are, and understanding if there is a bond between me and that person. Because if there's no bond, then how do I know this person's actually gonna make it with effort, of knowing like, oh, I respect this person, I understand the whole backstory, and now I know how to execute what we're doing together. You see what I'm saying? So I try my best with all that. Oh, and then also like the whole lumpia thing with Josh.
Yeah,
That
that was
happened last
cool.
year too. Yeah, so me and him like had this whole idea. Like it was a simple like he was on the phone with Jesse, and we weren't really that much of boys at the time, but like I knew about him. He was cool, and I fucked with him. So me and him started hanging out, and then we started talking more serious about the whole lumpia stuff, because that was his whole wave at the time, and that was his way of like making some extra income. So I was like, oh well, I'm gonna help out the boy and make sure like he's, I want to at least try to do something. So I went this whole route. So I got T Plant Trish. She's like a photographer out here, and she is crazy. So I got her, and keeping it in the what is kind of just like the same style of art form that I like. So she took all the photos. I wanted to be very K-pop for the photos, because that's what they liked and that's what their whole aesthetic was. So I was like, let's do like that, and we'll get the suits. So we went like thrifting, and we were finding suits. Like literally paid like all together for mine and his suits setup. It was probably like $30 all together for both of our suits. And then we already had matching shoes, so we were like happy about that. And then I put the gloves in there to make it seem more like why. Like I wanted people to question like why are they wearing gloves, so the pictures look more appealing. And we got a drink. Me and him were at the Asian market, and we found these drinks that were like in yellow cans, and we're like, oh, like let's put this in the middle just so people can have a drink, because to wash down like all the lumpia. And so he also told me like the Vietnamese like favorite ingredient is usually like mangoes. So we got the mango juice. So we're like, oh, we'll put that in there. And then we also made a peri sauce, which was like it had curry, some mango like fruit syrup, and then also hold on, also like some sorry, I had to move my car. What else do we have? So we also had the juice, the sauce, and then I think that was
Mango curry sauce.
yeah, I think that was it. But I was making everything firsthand for all the orders and shit. Like I was making all the ingredients for the sauce. Like we put it all together.
I wish I would have got some.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
his
up?
dad's cool.
She's here? Well, I didn't know that.
Uh, so Raj shooting photos in front of Ray.
Okay, I'm on the phone. Well, now we're over here freaking like putting dialogue in the podcast right now. I'm like, he had me move my car. Um, that, yeah,
Like I've at least you haven't had to be kicked out the podcast. Like remember, there's always something going on.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So last week we had Frame. You know Frame. He shot a video at one of the last shows you did of
Oh,
Teddy,
oh
I
yeah,
believe.
yeah. I put that video on my website, bro. I was like, bro, this shit is crazy. I didn't even know he did that. He asked me, he was like, can I shoot a video? I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, do whatever you want. This place is yours. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he made it happen. That video came out crazy.
That's
So
exactly how he described himself. He described himself as the fly on the wall, and he just hangs out with his friends who do shit.
he's good, man. That video came out like dope as shit. Like that was unplanned. I didn't even know that was like happening. And the fact that like Ozzy was wearing the Perry Show hat and the Antable headquarters sweater at the same time, I was just like, this video like has everything to do with me. It was like crazy. I mean, not the lyrics, but definitely like the whole like aesthetic of the video. It's crazy. So I was like,
Yeah.
I had to put that on the site. But yeah, I think
How many
also, what's up?
how many times have we had you on? How many times now? Technically 2, 3 episodes now, right?
Yeah,
And then
technically
potentially,
three. Yeah,
yeah.
technically three. We're about to do another one after, you know,
Let's
I get,
go.
yeah.
Tell what's his name? Jesse from the Greater Good to join. I asked him a while ago. He said yeah, but I haven't asked him ever again.
You kind of have to
And so like
be consistent with him. He's ready to go, man. Like he's trying to find different stuff. He's always ready to go. Like if he sees me do something, or if he says anybody else in the crew do something, he's like, damn, why I gotta do something too? And that's
literally
just how we, yeah, gotta
literally
do it.
Josh, Ray, and you now. So that's a trifecta right there. That's enough. I'm gonna ask him again.
Please do,
I'm
cause
putting
he has a lot to talk about. He's a fresh new like voice, and you know everybody wants to know what's up with that in Cat's life. So like, cause he's doing a bunch of shit. He literally did all last year. If you really think about it, he was like the talk of the town all last year. Like, and that's because he was making moves. Like, and so definitely put him
he
on
did a
the
lot.
podcast.
He did a lot of collaborations. I remember the first time I ever heard about Jesse was like around the time I had met Christian and Jared. They had a First Friday show and they set up
Yeah,
downtown. And I think Jesse at the time was setting up downtown for First Friday before he had his like space down like where it's at now before he moved there. Um, because I remember when Christian was talking about doing the collaboration, the where they were giving away the totes to the homeless people. Um, he's mentioned that he knew Jesse from like back then, like from that far. And I was like, damn, dude. Because I just met Jesse like this year. I think when we did the We Bike, remember that?
yeah, yeah. The biking crew thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's the first time I
yeah,
ever met Jesse.
yeah, man. He's always like, to be honest, like he's definitely the person that highlighted what I was doing all last year. He made everything happen in the sense of like keeping me going because I started that year off rough. So, you know, I didn't really have that much ambition. But when I met Jesse and like the crew that I have now, like that's what kept me going. You know, like every single day I was waking up like the break of dawn and kind of just like going straight to the shop. And it kind of came like a repetitive thing, and I kind of grew more of a bond with like Jesse and then all the other boys there. Um, and then we established like a family. So it was going to work from Starbucks late night, like overnights from like 10 to like 4 a.m. and then waking up at 9 a.m. and then going straight to the shop until like I had to go to work again that night, just like consistently. And when I was there, it was more like Jesse was asking, "Oh, what are you gonna do next? What's gonna out this? Let's plan out that. Are you shooting some more videos?" It was just consistency. Like it was like somebody, in a way, it was like somebody over my. It was like my coach. My coach is like, "Yo, making sure that you're on point." So definitely, and then also he had a lot of people in the shop that were definitely like kind of just like were very, because before, like how I took it is like everybody was all doing their own thing. They all wanted to work together, but they didn't want to. It was like a whole like nobody wanted to work together type thing because they felt like everybody was like all they thought they were too good for each other. But at the end of the day, everybody just needed to be shown like, yo, people actually want to work with each other. Just go talk to them, and shit will happen. And that's kind of, I feel like Jesse is the person who made that happen for everybody. He made everybody come closer. People started working with each other. There was a lot more collaborations happening a lot last year, at least from what I saw, like personally, and a lot of people coming to the shop. Um, I remember some people that came through the shop, and I was just like, dang, like Jesse also taught me like, oh, like if you really, I don't know why you feel like you have something against this person, but you should change that. That's what he told me. And people would come to the shop, and I was like, like he's right. So I would let everything go like under the bridge, and everything would be fine. And I'm like, dang, he is right. Like there's no need for any like type of like stupid thing in my head telling me like this person is like against me or I'm against them type things. So I
It's a
kind of like
waste of energy.
squashed. Yeah, yeah, it was stupid. So, and I was being stupid for sure. So he made me realize, like, yo, you're just being stupid now. Realize that, you know, making enemies is, not needed right now. You should be making friends. You should be making people that actually want to be around you, consistent. So that was another highlight of last year. So, but yeah, man, definitely talk to Jesse. He'll tell you a lot. He has a lot to say. Um, but yeah, man, I feel like last year was crazy, bro, for everybody, and I'm kind of glad you guys are staying consistent with all this podcast stuff because, definitely lets people open up and, talk about what they went through last year because a lot of people went through a lot of stuff and it was a lot of challenges and it was a lot of growth for everybody, especially if they wanted to grow. So I feel like that was very important for you guys to stay in the loop of everybody. So
Thank
that's
you.
good.
I like compliments.
I
Yeah,
can
you
hear you.
sound great.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Hey, Jesse. Harry said you wanted to join today. Just playing. Yeah. I It's fun. Yeah.
I'm down. Okay. Tell him please and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I already told him.
All right, good. But
Um,
anything else?
yeah.
I don't know what to say. Yep. Oh yeah, well, Desert West. Yeah, that was definitely what recently happened. That was like something like it didn't happen out of nowhere. Um, I'm gonna just be up front. Like living alone, like first time, like it's a lot of stuff to like deal with, especially financially. So something to learn, something to grow off of, and when I got the opportunity to do Desert West, I was like, okay, and I was like, I had my homie that would make anything happen for my art stuff. He hit me, I hit him up, and I was like, yo man, they want me to do this mural at Desert West. Like, do you think you can make anything happen? He was like, yeah, bro. He was like, here's $100. Just use that. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I just used that, and I made that mural happen, bro. I was like, I luckily, bro, like it was so crazy. Like a lot of stuff was happening at perfect time. And I go to Home Depot. I go get some outdoor paint, and no, I was getting indoor paint because it was cheaper. And then it was like it wasn't the premium one. It was just like some regular one. But the guy was telling me like, oh, we don't really have it, but I'm gonna give you the outdoor premium if that's okay. You'll get it for the same price. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's
Bet.
perfect. And I was like that. Yeah, I was like, that's perfect for me. And then all the cans that I had, I made that was I used like a lot of white because Salmon had a lot of white. Perry just had a white on his face, and then all the black was on his head. And then I had like you got some other extra colors like some pinks and like some infrared to put on top of the heart to kind of emphasize like the love between Perry and Salmon. Because all the other murals there, everybody was just doing their own thing, their own styles, and me and my dad like we're very character driven, and especially Lalo, he was very character driven as well. So we were just using that, and we were like, to be honest, we were definitely I'm gonna say like we were definitely probably like the heavy hitters throughout the whole thing, like showstoppers, like iconic stuff. So that's just how I
Yeah, La
felt.
Locota is everywhere, and your your dad's work is everywhere. Like it's
Dude, it was meant to be, bro. I was like, my dad was like, oh, this is like, you ain't getting money off of this, but this is how you earn your stripes. This is how you get your rep. This is how you get your reputation, and people start seeing your style, and it was great, bro. Well, dude, story behind that, Desert West, my dad went and all his homies, they helped open Desert West because he came from like the group of kids that was always trying to find some place to skate. So they made that whole skate park happen. They built it, everything. Like even my homie Noah's dad, like he was part of that too. And so for me to be on top, like on part of that park with my dad was definitely iconic for me because nobody knows this, but like, dude, like how what I said right now, like my dad helped open up that shit with his homies and all his crew and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was something. It was like a stepping stone. But the thing is, the ball keeps rolling. So who knows? Next year they're like, yo, like, can we have you back? Can you do something else? When COVID's not happening, there's gonna be a lot more artists there. They're actually gonna do the Phoenix Dam, and there's a lot of skaters there skating on top of everything. It's all on the TV and stuff. So just gotta keep on going, bro.
Yeah.
Well, if you really think about it, like nobody gets to see the whole behind the scenes, so nobody sees me when I'm procrastinating, or nobody sees me when I'm like having to go through mental things to understand life, and because that's just how life is. You get hit with a lot of stuff, so nobody gets to see that. But I do like to show people like consistency, so I want to work on a lot of things, and right now, like me and Jesse are about to come out with some stuff, and doing the shoot with Mount Sunny was like another opportunity that just happened recently, and they hit me up randomly, and I didn't even expect it because I thought I just did the first shoot, and that was great. And I didn't even expect anything out of that. It was just like they hit me up like, hey, like, do you think you can do it? And I was like, yeah, perfect. I even told them, I was like, yo, I've never modeled before, this and that, but I'd love to do it, because it was definitely a company that I would love to stand behind. It wasn't like any other brand. It was just like these people are actually serious about what they do and what they make, and there's like a whole story behind it, and I would want to stand behind that, especially a brand, and the clothes was perfect, and we went all the way to Tucson at some at this house, like I forgot what kind of house it was, but they got this house, the whole setup was crazy. I never had that experience. And the fact that I also got paid too, it was just like, dang, this is something I've never thought that I would be doing, but it's awesome. I even called off of work that night. I was just supposed to be at work, but it took longer than needed. It took like the whole day, so I was just like, I just called out and I was like, yo, I'm not gonna come through. And they were like, oh, well, if you need to leave right now, we'll go, but we're already in Tucson. So I'm like, nah, we're gonna be like hours late. I'm good, So I just told them, I was like, nah, I already called out, we're good. And then the recent shoot was another great opportunity. I was like, damn, they called me back. That's dope. And so this shoot I was pretty hyped about because I work construction now, and I've been getting a big tan. Like I've been getting sunburn and stuff like that, but I feel like it went with like the color schemes that they were doing, and I was like, oh well, this is probably like meant to be because I was kind of scared because I had like a farmer's tan, but it went with like the clothing items that we had, and I was like, oh, this is good because like it's all like it's Mount Sunny, so it's like like if you're not if you're not even doing anything in the sun, then it's like, oh well, what is this clothing that you're wearing for then? Spencer would always tell me, get your 15 minutes of sun, but I'm getting like 10 hours a day of sun, but no, yeah. Dude, moving company, that's crazy, bro. That's a different level. That's like another. You have to definitely test yourself with like what you can carry or different obstacles. Yeah, especially by yourself. You gotta do it all by yourself. The dolly. Shoot. Yeah, I don't even know how you managed to do that, bro. I feel like the moving company is crazy because my homie, he works in the moving company, and he always talks about how like the construction guys always say like, "Yo, I'm giving props to you, man," because I tried to do the moving company, but it was hard, and it was just. But they're definitely right because I can see what they're talking about because having to do that every single day, you don't even know what you're gonna go get yourself into at that next house or whatever. So bro, jeez, bro. Hey, bro, That's really dope. That's how I feel, bro. Like I mean, the construction's like a challenge, but I had to make it happen, bro. I went from Starbucks to construction because I was like, you know what? I'm by myself. I gotta pay these bills. Like I gotta make something happen. So I made, did that leap, and I went. I never thought I was gonna do construction, but it seems like I had to do it. So it's good, man. It's a lot of dude. It is. But the thing is, I work with like a lot of old heads, and it's like all I hear is that they go home and they just drink a beer and they go to sleep, and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. So I always I get home, I take a shower, and my favorite thing to do is just like get fly, because that's what brings out my confidence. So I'll get up and I'll like hit up all my homies, like especially the ones like daily. So I've been working with a lot of my friends like this past 2 3 months, because to keep them going, because not only am I trying to stay consistent, but I try to keep my friends around me consistent. And my homies Alan and Drew, like they're everybody hurts, like their crew, their band group, like they're making shit happen. They're starting to like come out with some new music, and
Yeah,
I before they yeah. What were
they
you saying?
just put out a project, right?
Yeah, working from home, bro. That shit. They were sitting on that for like towards the end of the year last year, and they didn't put it out at all. They were like procrastinating, and when I started working with them, and that's when we started doing the DJ stuff with the Anti headquarters. And the only reason I did that was to kind of like work with them and come closer to them, because they were the only people that were in my friend group that I didn't even know that much or even kick it with as much. So I kind of got closer and grew more of a bond with them by doing that. And I just did it so that we can make something happen or make some noise, and keep them consistent and show them my work ethic and what I can do. And next, after I was like, oh well, release your project and do this, this, and that. And next, I just took off the training wheels, and they were like doing their thing. So, and now they come up to me, calling me, like talking to me like how I talk to them, saying like, oh well, did you get this done? Did you get that done? Like, what are you doing? Like, and it's so great, because I even told them, I was like, dang, you talking to me like that? I was like, I like that. Keep going. Like, that's good. That's good. You gotta like keep your friends motivated. Like if you're not motivating yourself, that's what a lot of people mess up on. They'll motivate their friends and people around them than themselves. But at the end of the day, like that's good too. At least like somebody's staying They're being motivated to motivate you, in a way. And so I always try to play that part. I'll be motivating myself, because I'm very hard on myself. But then I'm also very patient and perfecting my craft or whatever I'm gonna do next. And because I always try to come out with something new. Like I don't try to like do the same thing over and over again. The only thing I want consistent in my work is like Perry and salmon and all my paintings and my art style. But if I'm gonna challenge myself, it's always gonna be something different. But
Yeah. Everybody Hurts just dropped a project like 2 weeks ago, and before that, they were like, because I remember I followed them because they were in the Heart lookbook, the last
yeah,
one when they dropped the 3 pack, and they had like a vinyl player, and I thought the pictures were tight, so then I followed them, and then they dropped a single. It was like, damn.
bro, they're crazy, man. It's the shit that they're working on now is insane. Like all I had to say, I've been telling them too. I'm like, dude, you guys are different. You guys are totally different. You guys have a different sound. Because Alan's coming out with this, like coming at Drew with his electronic, different type of funk sounds, and he goes any length he can to make anything happen, especially like music wise. But Drew, with his rhymes and with his poetry, like he can say anything. He can make you, feel exactly what he's talking about. And he has like that smooth transition on all his flows, and he's just perfect with it. He's not trying to be like any other rapper. He's just himself, and he has a distinct voice that amplifies what they are as a group. It's not just the music, but it's also the rapper. It's like the MC, the person on the voice. So they make anything happen, bro. Like so I redid the website, and on the desktop version, you can listen to. So they made this 10-minute long song for my website, and it has like a whole conversation of like them asking me questions, but then also like faded in the background. But then it also has like Drew like rapping like over like the beat, like for full 10 minutes, and it's fucking dope as shit.
I'm going on the website. The single is called Aloe Vera. I remember it now because I could hear the hook.
Wait, this the song on the website?
No, 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 not the song on the website, but the single that they put out before their
Yeah,
project that they dropped.
dude. There's like a joke behind that song, but like this, well, I'm gonna let you guys take it however you want. But that song, but no, that song is perfect, bro. That's like a hitter. Like that's like Everybody Hurts itself. Like if you remember anything from Everybody Hurts after 10 years, it's like that song is definitely what's gonna like separate them from a lot of different artists. Yeah. But uh, nah, man. I mean, I was very like into like the electronic wave back when like high school, and I would use like GarageBand to like make like kind of just like a full on like set length of just like different uh kind of like synths and other stuff like electronic music. But that was just like GarageBand. That's like the most fun I've had with that. But other than that, I mean, not I didn't really take it that much serious because I didn't really have like the patience to do that, especially right now because I was trying to amplify my art more than anything else. Yeah. And one thing I learned from Quentin Tarantino is that like if you really want to make a movie and you actually want to do it, you can make it happen. Like you have to actually know what you want. So like the way you want the movie to happen, you don't have to be the best film like videographer at all, but you can get the best videographer. You just have to have the vision and like all like break it down to them of what you want. You don't have to be the best editor. You don't have to be the best costume designer. None of that. But you can get those people to bring together your movie. Like to make all everything visually, everything sonically, uh, everything in that movie. So I'm saying like you can find people, always find people, especially if you want to get into it. You don't have to be the puppet master, but you can definitely be the person that's at least directing what you want the puppet to do. So actually, nah, bro. That's not something you can perfect at all. It's like it's art, but if it's art, like there's no need to understand it. Art's something that you can never understand because it's always changing. If it's always changing, there's no point of even trying to understand it. Like nothing's ever perfect in a painting at all. Paintings that people like, such as like George Condo, I bet you he comes out with a painting, puts it in a gallery. There's probably a couple of different things that he doesn't like on it, but it's for the gallery, and he's just like he can point out those key things, but he's not gonna tell you. So nothing's ever perfect. You might think it's perfect, but it's not. That's something I've learned being surrounded by creative people, and especially with working with Everybody Hurts. Like they have these songs. So Aloe Vera, like all that, like all the different music that they put in there. It's like, yeah, you might think like, oh, this is a hit song. This is crazy. I think it's crazy, but Alan would be like, oh no, like I wish this was better. I wish that was better. Like I kind of fucked up on that. This, and that. So to perfect art is not real. It's like not. That's like a dream to perfect art. Like it's not even real at all.
Yeah. I actually was talking to Raw today. Raw pulled up to my house and he sat outside and he was wearing a mask. I was sitting at the other side of the patio and he was and I was talking to him about like the shows that we did when we first started doing shows and I kind of like said, I think we could have done better, you know? Like that was my perspective is like all the like I know all the shit that I fucked up like that I could have perfected. And then he's like, "Nah." He's like, it was perfect. He's like, bro, you gotta think about it. When I first started working with you, I was 16 years old. Like, I never rapped in front of anyone ever. Like, we were just doing shit in front of people. Like, and we got people to show up. We got people to move. Like, it was exactly how it needed to be. And he said now he meets people, and they know who he is, and like part of it is because of that work that he put in. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
If you're trying to take too much time on perfecting yourself, then you're gonna kind of like miss the end goal. You know, if you're like, and that's just to have fun. That's just to enjoy. Like he probably said it was perfect because yeah, it was perfect, but for that time. You know, now you guys are on a different level.
exactly.
Just like how this podcast is. Like think about it. You guys went from like, kind of just like pen on paper, whatever, right? And then you guys did actually got the mics and everything else. And then next, now we're doing the videos. It's like you guys have growth. Like nothing's ever perfect. You see what I'm saying? So, like even this, I bet you guys think like, oh, well, this is not perfect. Like we're gonna have to do this. I want to do this. We're gonna have to get like a whole fucking like stand, like a theater, to just even have people sit down and
And
for
have
real.
Black Magics because we want good video too. I'm
Yeah.
getting a sound panel so I can make weird noises. No, that's probably not. Yeah.
You're gonna get a boom guy for no reason. You just have a boom guy even though you guys have mics. Yeah, man. So yeah, bro. Art's never. You can never perfect art, bro. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what she's saying. I hear you though. You sound good. I don't know. Hey, so while you fix this,
Let me
let's check in with
know. Tell her she can
Isaiah.
hear me now. Or I guess Ray.
Isaiah, how
you guys
much
hear me?
longer you got? Yeah, you sound great.
Well, the sun. I mean, if you guys can see me, that's all that matters. I feel like once I start getting dark in here, then.
I mean, look, I respect you being out here. I know you're at you're outside your family's house, so like, okay, we can hear you now, Tannen. It sounds like you got static in the background. Yeah, I just wanna like if you gotta go, bro, it's all good, you know.
No, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Okay.
My dad just went for a walk. That's why he was out here like kind of just having me move the car because one of his neighbors or whatever. So he just told me to move, but I'm good. He just went for a walk. I'm just waiting. By the time he gets back, I'm probably gonna be like, all right, I'm good. So I haven't seen him yet. So, you know, but I'll let
She
you. I'll
can
let you
hear.
guys know.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, don't feel bad if you gotta bounce. I try and tell people like cause I don't know anyone's schedule, you know, like you said, you
You're
ran
good, bro.
over to.
I got time right here. I'm here right now.
Okay.
Like, you guys can hear me, so that's good. Cause I was like worried about if you guys can hear me perfectly, cause I was in the car.
You sound good.
Cause I was gonna do it at home at my apartment and have it on my laptop, cause I knew that's how you guys have the setup.
Yeah, we're good. Next one. Hey,
Okay.
no, you sound good. I like to over explain.
Okay. How we doing? It's all good, bro. At least like we're still catching up, and you guys can still hear everything.
Yeah, it was nice catching up.
Yeah, dude.
To be honest,
in,
even
like,
if
OBS.
if this one's a
settings
dud,
got
don't even worry,
changed.
because we're gonna have
Maybe
another
an
one.
update or something, and I
So,
never noticed.
True.
I mean, we can still post it, and I'll just explain. I don't think I talked that much, to be honest.
You sound good, dude. I can hear you.
Wait.
It is a little
can I
staticky
not
though
hear
when you
guys
talk.
now? What
I don't
the
know.
fuck is going on, dude?
You just
Don't
sound a
worry.
little
Don't
static.
worry. Nobody, like, you guys shouldn't be worried, bro. At all. Because the whole point was to have this convo. And,
Yeah. The
but you
information
guys
was
are doing
shared.
I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Six shoes that day. Some
Oh, I had
boots, I
boots.
think.
Yeah, I had like some cowboy boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I still need to get
Yeah.
some new ones actually.
Yeah, it's always pleasant to run into you. I think yeah, they had no idea you'd be there. I mean, it makes sense. You were working at the shop at that time, right? You were working at
Yeah.
the Greater Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, it's always good seeing both of you guys. I mean, I rarely see Tannen, but you know.
Because he lives on a different planet.
Bro, I think I finally figured it out. I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm sorry, dude. Like I
You sound great.
definitely goofed up
You're good, bro.
the shit.
You're good. Don't sweat it.
No. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not like super pissed, but yeah, kind of a bummer. I'm sorry.
Not even.
You sound crystal clear now, though, Tannen. Like,
Yeah, dude. I
jeez.
think OBS reset, or I don't know what the fuck happened, dude. Cause like
It, like,
basically
updated or what?
my shit was like not playing through my mic, so I don't know where the fuck you guys were hearing me this whole time. And then
Maybe the headphones. Maybe the Apple headphones.
maybe, damn, you should have told me, bro. You know what it sounds like.
Yeah, but it's. I
and
talk to
then-
you once a
Where
week
we
on
at
this
now?
bad
Where we
boy.
at now? We're good.
We're straight now. Everything's good. I think
Alright,
it's
that's all we
it's
have to worry
coming
about.
through.
Yeah.
We're 53 minutes deep, and I had no audio up until this point.
I mean, to be honest, you guys didn't really do that much talking. You guys have me talking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
the whole
that's
time,
true.
so-
It's Isaiah.
So anybody who's made it to this point, I was here.
All right, we're gonna do a slow 2-minute recap or quick 2-minute recap. Let's go. So, at the beginning, we talked to Isaiah. He gave us a little update, like what he was going through through COVID during the quarantine, and then after that, we kind of talked about some of the work he did. And one of the things I really remember Tannen mentioning was that you had some work up at Desert West that you put together with Lalo Kota and Atom Bomb.
A-bomb.
A-Bomb, right?
That's not fun.
And then we talked a little. Then we talked about you and your relationship with Jesse and how he's helped kind of push you and make sure you're passionate about your artwork. Because I'm
Not
sure.
only did he do that for me, but he did that for all of AZ. To be honest, I mean, I don't know, man. He didn't really have to say it to them, but to be honest, everybody was like, a lot of people were doing stuff, and I got to see it firsthand because he was bringing them into the shop, and he was like showing everybody what he had at the shop, and you guys are all showing what you guys are doing. So
Yeah, I think he had someone who worked there who ended up opening up her own shop, right? Like one of her like she
Lane,
was like a barber there. Yeah,
yeah, he's
right,
killing it.
right. Yeah, so that's cool. That he just gives people that encouragement to be able to do all their own shit. Yeah, I remember when the Heart Boys were hanging out with him because they would like talk about like working on this project, and it's pretty cool because at that time I couldn't go outside, so it was cool to hear that they were still working on shit. I like hearing the progress that everyone goes through. Like Ray fucking developed the business during the pandemic. He unveiled a business.
That one came out of nowhere, and he was definitely a heavy hitter when he made his noise.
Yeah, it's cool. He put everything together. He took his time. I think it took like 3 or 4 months before like the first like piece was finally released. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I it was it, and then you had a collaboration with him too. I
Yeah,
remember.
I was like the first person. I was like, I was honored. I was just like, cause I remember he hit me up and he was like, or no, he came to the shop and he was like, he asked me, he's like, hey, do you think you can do this, 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 and that? And I was like, yeah, bro. I mean, how many are you thinking? And he was like, oh, like, I think he said like 15, like 20, whatever. And I was like, yeah, bro, like, would you mind, like, paying me this, this, and that? And he was like, yeah, of course. And then so he hit me up when he had the money, and then like I already had the pots done, and he like paid me, and I knocked him out, like like once he bring them all to the shop, and I was kind of honored because I'm like, this is crazy, like these pots are really dope, and I love plants. I have a couple plants myself, and for me and my artwork to be on a couple people's plants at home is definitely honored because I know a lot of people just like me, we take our plants serious. So, taking care of them, and I mean, also the aesthetic, if it has like a good aesthetic, so if like my art is what you want in your home, like that was an honor to have. So that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Ray did mention to me that a couple of the people that like purchased the pots, like he didn't know, so that's pretty cool. Like, so just people who fuck with the artwork. Um, and he did mention even like with the last release, with INTL, I think, um,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he was dropping like $100 worth of pots to somebody he had no affiliation with. So it's cool to see like the growth out of it.
that's good, bro.
Bro, $100 on pots, that's like 3 or 4 right there.
Yeah,
That's
well,
tight.
that's good, man. Like, yo, man, he's killing it, bro. He puts love and passion into that, and that's what happens whenever you do that. People will see that and they feel that, so they're gonna support. And just like how you guys are doing the podcast, and just how anybody does their work, people are gonna support. They're gonna be there, and they're gonna help out if needed. So yeah, bro. Good, man. That's why I think that's kind of like why I keep coming back to you guys when you guys invite me, because I'm like, hell yeah, you guys definitely put in effort, and not only is there effort, but you guys are consistent with me on keeping up with my life, and I'm just like, dang, I'm like, I can't wait till I'm up there, and I'm like, you guys over here still having me do another podcast, and your podcast has grown, and now you guys are basically like a Jimmy Fallon or like level.
Damn. We could
Like
be the
imagine like
Weekend Report, and Mike,
no,
I'll
no,
give you Jimmy
imagine,
Fallon, and I get Tina Fey.
whoa,
Tina
bro.
Fey is hot, bro.
Yeah. Tina Fey is like a
She's hot.
comedic genius. Like,
Oh yeah.
to me, she's one of my favorite comedians, like of like shows and stuff like that ever. She made like 30 Rock was like her big sitcom that she made.
Baby Mama, that movie was funny.
Baby Mama, she made. She was on SNL for a long time.
Mhm.
She's crazy. But yeah, they had the Weekend Report with Jimmy Fallon when they were on there, so that's what it reminded me of. He could be Jimmy Fallon.
I got 5 more minutes.
All right, okay, so let's do our last questions. Mike, do you have any that you want to throw in, or am I going?
No, but I do want to bring something up. In 2 days, Jared's making a drop with Jared from Never Good Enough and Mars from Everything by Mars. Are doing a collaboration drop for 420. Also, happy
Oh yeah,
420.
at Stoop Kid, right?
I have no idea.
They're doing it at Churchill.
That is sick. I have no idea. I don't know anything. I just know that the drop's happening, and I may or may not be helping with some updates on the website. I don't know nothing about it though. But yeah, I do know he's doing a 420 drop. I know Christian's supposed to drop these new shirts, and in a couple weeks, Ray's dropping some pots. The collaboration is crazy, man. Like, it's so cool to see, like, because I know what it looks like, the new drop coming from Ray, and I know that he just collaborated with INTL, and he had the stucco on there, and then yours, each one was unique, so that's like a lot of good production coming from over there. Really cool shit. But questions, I don't have any questions for my mans. So let's go ahead and ask these questions.
All right, first one is like the dream collab right now. Like, if you could work with anybody in any fashion, it doesn't have to be like art or anything. Like, you could be like volunteering shit. I don't know, whatever you want. Like, what would you want to do, and with who?
To be honest, honestly, working with Jose personally, in the whole film industry and like what he does there, it definitely opened my eyes in the whole thing of like taking direction, you know, being a director and kind of just like showing somebody like your vision without even having to like give them your brain, you know. So if I were to work with anybody right now, it would definitely be Wes Anderson. He's a film director, and because I know he's working on his next film right now. I don't know if it's gonna be his last because he is getting older. I don't know if that's gonna affect his career, but you know, I just hope it's not because I still want more films from him. But you know, I would definitely love to sit in there and kind of just do like if I were able to do like a stop motion picture with him, with like Perry and stuff like that, all claymation and stuff. That would be pretty hard. But other than that, I think that's like the only type of collaboration I would want.
What about you, Mike? Like, who's your dream guest outside AZ?
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
I think
I would love to share some words with Frank Ocean, and maybe Charles Gambino, bro.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
like
mine.
been a long time coming.
That's mine.
Because meeting Fam, so I met Fam a few years ago. It's like Charles Gambino's. I don't know what he is to him now, but it was his manager at the time, like around because of the internet. We were talking, and then he was like there for a Johnny Cupcakes event. And so like at the end, since we were first in line, we were able to talk to Fam, and Fam was like recorded us for an interview about Charles Gambino. So he wanted to just see everyone's perspective. And I talked shit about him. I talked shit about Charles Gambino. I was like, nah, I don't listen to that shit. And then the next time I saw him was at Charles Gambino's concert, and now I was a fan because the internet was good, you know. And I ran into Fam again, and he was like going to some place to go brush his teeth. He said,
Yeah, I
and
remember
he's like,
that.
bro, I'm gonna get you backstage. And then I was like, all right, bet. After the concert, it didn't happen.
Wait, so that was
like
because the internet show that you went to that happened?
Yeah.
Because then I met him with you at Pharaoh's.
Yeah, we ran into him 3 times. That's true.
That's
So
crazy.
it's a matter of time, bro. The I just gotta keep doing some more shit, I think, and we'll meet eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to be like a guest writer on Atlanta or something like that. Like I would want to make some sort of like TV show or film with Donald Glover.
Sounds pretty dope.
All right, last question. I'm gonna recycle one just because I'm curious to think what you think. If you have a full-grown bear, or like the biggest possible bear you can get, which is like a Kodiak bear, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the biggest like gorilla you can get, which is like a silverback gorilla, right? And for some reason they end up getting into a scuffle. Who's coming out on top? And what's your thought process behind that?
I'm gonna say both. Both of them are gonna come out, and they're like, because they're gonna realize, dang, they're too big, so they're gonna be cool. They're gonna walk away, both hurt, but they're gonna kind of just let it be. Nobody like killed anybody else. It was just kind of just like, all right, well, I'm done. I'm too tired for this shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be like two brothers fighting. They just got to get it out their system. Nobody's gonna
One of them
die.
got him in the corner, just like by the neck, and he's like, oh fuck. He's like, all right, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, like choked him out or something.
I wish animals acted that way, but I think the bear's gonna murder him.
No.
Dude, the claws, man. The claws are too crazy. And they got mad reflexes. You guys see those videos about people like throwing bread out of their window, and the bear's just like grabbing that shit. Dude, it's so crazy. I don't know how it's working.
Send me the link.
Yeah, I'll send you it next time I see it on like Instagram or something. Damn, so that's the first ever time that somebody said tie game. Nobody wins.
Well, I mean, personal opinion.
Yeah. Hey, there's no wrong answers in these questions at the end. It's always like
in the hypothetical world, yeah.
Yeah, it's always just to spark a little bit of friendly debate. Oh yeah, and this always gets brought up.
Ray sent that.
But yeah,
all right, man.
We appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, thank you for coming. We look forward to having you again. I think next time we should ask Jesse to pull up and Jose from Noche Americana, because he didn't get to talk about the the first mural that he did, the virtual gallery he did with you, and I would really love to hear about that because like it was beautiful, like the whole everything, the way it came out, the spotlight, the colors, like everything.
Yeah, bro. I
So
feel
it'd be
like
pretty cool.
that definitely kicked off me introducing Noche Americana to everybody else because I didn't know about him before, and when we started working together, then we did that first video. I feel like that was what kickstarted everybody kind of being more intrigued to.
Yeah, I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, but honestly, he needed to be spotlighted because he's fucking talented. Like that whole
Bro.
fucking industry
Yeah.
is fucking crazy. So, yeah, man. I mean, next time we need those cats on there because both of them are heavy hitters, and we need more people like that. We need bigger brains. It's not can't just be us three in here, bro. We gotta have
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
Yeah. I want to hear more perspective. I want to hear everyone's point of view because
Yeah.
it's cool. This is interesting.
it's
But
with
thank you for joining.
yeah, of course, bro. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, later, guys. Bye.
Later.